Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of the Kinky Christian. I'm Pat. I will be your guide on this journey as we continue to talk about Christ, sex, kink, everything in between. We're not going to limit ourselves, but that's kind of the point. So today's is one of my favorite topics. This is just tickles me that I can even talk about it. We are going to be discussing sex toys. That's right, you heard me. Sex toys. Now, we're all familiar with, dildos, vibrators, that kind of stuff. I'm sure, almost everyone has used one. If not, you should. Those are kind of, the most common things. So I'm not really going to touch on them too much. I mean, what we can, if you want to talk later about that, they're pretty standard. You got your glass ones and your silicone ones that vibrate, ones that don't vibrate, double-ended ones. It's all pretty much the same thing. It's going to be something that, kind of is inserted or vibrates on the outside. Those are your pretty standard sex toys. Love them. Love them, love them, love them. We have an assortment, me and my wife, we have an assortment of them ourselves. But today I want to kind of focus on more of the kinky ones. Again, now remember, God is not against any of this. Keep it within the confines of what he says. Keep it in your marriage. Keep it, in that bubble. And all this is okay. So don't feel guilty if you want to try any of this stuff, as long as you stay within God's boundaries. So first thing I want to tell you is just about anything can be a sex toy. Don't limit yourself. Don't think, if I don't go shopping at an adult store that I'm not going to find anything. Let me give you a perfect example. My wife likes to be spanked. So we went to the hardware store and bought some paint. And what do they give you with paint? They give you a stir stick. Free. Of all things. They give you big ones if you buy the 5-gallon. Or they give you little ones if you buy a little 1-gallon. And I'll tell you what, these things got some pop to them. So anything can be a toy. Use your imagination. There's a lot of people who use food. Cucumbers, pickles, American pie, right? That's all I got to say. Warm apple pie. Watch the movie, you'll get it. We also use paintbrushes for stimulation. It sounds weird, but you get a nice firm or soft paintbrush, either one, and you get your submissive blindfolded, get some nice music going, set the mood, and then you can stroke them. The sensations, you can kind of hit them with it. Works well. Another thing that surprised my wife is pool noodles. That's right, pool noodles. This actually came out of a water heater. When I had to install the water heater, this came with it. It's insulation. But still, a lot of play that you do in scenes is all about the mind. So you take something like this and you hit, and it makes a heck of a noise, but it doesn't hurt. So you can take this and just beat the living tar out of somebody. It doesn't hurt. So that's why I said use your imagination. Think about what you can and can't do with just about anything you find in the house. I've seen some strange things that have been used. I don't want to get into it. Use your imagination. But what we like to do in our dynamic, in our relationship, is a lot of spanking, a lot of things like that. So This is just a small assortment of floggers. Some of them have, this one has 100 tassels, or falls as they call them. And it goes down. This one only has 25, so this one will get you a nice little sting. That's what that's for. The bigger ones, when you got the more falls, those get you a good thud. We have one that has twisted with rose petals. This will get you a nice little swack too. She doesn't really like this one a lot, so keep that in mind. This is just an equestrian crop. That's all it is. Didn't buy it at a sex store, we bought it at a sporting goods store. That stings. That really stings. We have just a paddle that's padded on one side, hard on the other. This is our second paddle. We actually started out with just a ping pong paddle that I got for my birthday. So, ping pong paddles work well. I suppose you could probably hit the ball into them too if you want. I mean, that's up to you. You want some sensual play? This is just a house feather duster. That's all it is. Works wonders. We have, oh, this is a beast right here. So this is something we got at a specialty store. So some of this stuff you'll have to shop around for. But man, this, whew, you give them a little whack with that. I can't really do it to myself. It's not easy, but nice little thud. Something else that is really nice are nice little spiky rollers. These things can be soft and sensual, or if you give a little push, they'll eat you. They'll eat you raw. Lovely things. They come in different sizes. They have one roller, we have one that has 3, we have one that has 5, one that has 7. Beautiful things. This is also one of our favorites. This is candle wax. So you light this bad boy up, let it melt down, give a little pour. This one's kind of special because it's actually made with massage oil. So after you're done, you can just massage it right into her skin. And that's another thing. When you're doing things like this, anytime you have a intense scene, they're all called scenes. I don't know if I explained that before, but a scene is just a time where you guys do something, whether it be just a sexual scene. Anything can be a scene. But if it's a rough one and you're doing some spankings and some beatings and some floggings and, you know, rollers and things like that, you always want to have some aftercare. And when you do that, you want to, you know, massage oils and that. Take care of the skin afterwards. We'll talk about that another time. We also like to get into what's called e-stimulation or electric stimulation. And this is our little toy. Comes with a lot of attachments. We got glass ones. We have silicone ones. But you just stick this in here, plug it in, turn it on, and it lights up a nice little purple. You touch your skin with that, baby, you're going to know it. So there's all kinds of sex toys. This is just the tip of the iceberg. But I wanted to touch on these, really, not just to kind of show off sex toys, because this is probably 1% of what's out on the market, you know. You can do whatever you want to do with sex toys. Use your imagination. But the whole point of this is just to say, use them. Don't feel guilty for using them. When we first started this journey, me and my wife, years ago when we got married, we stayed away from sex toys because we thought, must be a sin, right? That God can't want us to use things like that. That's just silly. So when we started using them, when we found that there was enjoyment in them, we really kind of felt dirty and guilty for doing it. It didn't feel right. But as we grew in our faith, as we grew together with each other, and as we researched and really dug into things, there's nothing that says you can't. Nothing. If I'm wrong, which is possible, someone let me know. I don't want to give out misinformation ever. So if you know of something that I am unaware of in the Bible that says, hey, don't do this, by all means let me know so I can, let people know that I was wrong. But I have not found anything yet. As long as you keep it in the confines of your marriage, as long as there's consent from both of you, as long as everyone's happy, God's okay with it. So, lesson for today, sex toys, good. All right. Now that we got that covered, I think we're going to let you go for this episode. If you have any questions, comments, try to keep them positive, constructive. We would like to create a positive environment here. That's what this is all about. Lines of communication are open. Email me right here, the Kinky Christian Podcast at gmail.com. I will do my best to get back to you. If you got ideas for other things you want to talk about, hey, let me know, and we'll touch on them. I don't know everything, but I will share what I do know, and I try to keep my opinions to myself, but every once in a while they'll come out. So, anyway, everyone stay safe, take care of yourself and each other. God bless. Peace.